But okay, I'm not sure it's gonna be controversial or not, but we'll see. I'm actually very curious what this guy had to say. Neurotic did a 10-fight woke Hollywood disasters of 2024. Now, you guys know me. I don't like the word woke, because it's been used so many times that it lost its meaning at this point. Now, there are obviously all woke things in the world, but not everything is woke. So I'm very curious of what he's gonna put the 5. If I'm gonna agree all of it, or do I have some pushback? Let's begin.
2023 was tough for Tinseltown. It was the year of the flopbuster, the streaming collapse, and the worst time strikes in history, leading to what many called the Great Hollywood Apocalypse. For the only survivors wandering the wasteland are creative bankruptcy, identity politics leftovers, and zombie franchises regurgitating unnecessary prequels, sequels, and spin-offs. Once again, we here at Nerdrotic have put together a team with a special set of needs, and they've done a deep analysis and come up with the top 5 woke Hollywood disasters of 2024. Number 5, Madam Web.
Oh God, Madam Web. Oh my God, really? Really? With this song? Really, dude? Oh my God. Oh my God.
Honestly, Pi has been great. It's all you really need in a browser extension, and it makes the new age of the internet so much more usable.
Another Spider-Man movie from Sony.
By the way, guys, I believe they weren't even in the film for like, I think they were like in the film in their suits, like for 30 seconds or something. That's it. Like 30 seconds. How bad does that CGI look, by the way? Look. I'm sorry. Like, that's just...
Without Spider-Man, what could go wrong? Starting with the casting of Dakota Johnson playing Madam Web, who, in the comics, is a clairvoyant elderly woman who's blind and crippled.
I have no idea why.
Is uncanny. Now, how do you screw up a movie with Dakota Johnson and Sydney Sweeney? Well, possibly lie. Based on their Instagram posts, there's a lot of speculation that they were led to believe that they were in an actual Marvel Studios production.
When I got the Madam Web role, I ran into Lizzie Olsen in a hotel lobby and spoke to her about it for a bit. She said she had a great time and seemed very relaxed about it. So that was comforting.
Which may explain why Dakota Johnson fired her agent prior to Madam Web's release. But the lies don't end there, because it turns out Madam Web was not only a Spider-Man movie without Spider-Man, it was a superhero movie without superheroes. All the scenes...
Oh, by the way, guys, Spider-Man was in the film. He was a baby. Yes. Peter Parker was in the film at the end, and he was a baby. And I still don't understand the whole Sony universe of Spider-Man with no fucking Spider-Man. Let's look down the list, guys. All Venom films, no Spider-Man. Kraven the Hunter, no Spider-Man. Morpheus, no Spider-Man. Madam Web, no Spider-Man.
You see Spider-Woman costumed are in a vision of the future that takes place in less than a minute. The only one costumed is the villain Ezekiel, whose origin is best described in this unfortunate cutscene of cinematic dialogue.
He was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died.
Wow. Turns out he left Madam Web's mom for dead and now has visions of the Spider-Women killing him in the future, when in truth those visions were of these women killing the Sony Spider-Verse.
Oh no.
Are you crying or are you laughing?
This film is best described as an adult film without all the adult stuff.
So, while my character in the movie may be able to see the future, I also can. And I know what the future brings.
Yeah, they literally were desperate for like marketing, and so they were like, all right, we gotta spice up the marketing.
I know that when you see Madam Web, you're gonna love it. In fact, I think you're gonna see it twice.
featuring scenes like an older woman kidnapping a group of barely legal girls and then taking them out to the park.
You guys, this is so freaky. Who are you? What is going on?
Then there's a scene of the older woman abandoning the barely legal girls and leaving them to their own devices.
Just stay here and don't do anything dumb. Seriously, don't do dumb things.
This is followed by the older woman teaching the barely legal girls some CPR.
And then you pump, and you want to go like 2 inches down. Go. Good.
Okay.
Okay, Anya, get ready to take over. And go.
What is going on?
1, 2, 3. Perfect. Nice job, Anya.
And towards the film's climax,
Bro, when you take things out of context, man, it's just so weird, dude. It's like these scenes are just like pointless.
the older woman drops off the barely legal girls with an older man and a pregnant woman. All the setup, none of the payoff. In the end, the villain is killed by product placement, the P in a Pepsi sign, and the origin of Madam Web, considering she had her powers from birth, was to become blind and crippled.
I wouldn't be here if it weren't for the three of you.
Unsurprisingly, it was panned by audiences and critics alike and became a massive flop. But there were some winners because Sydney Sweeney and Dakota Johnson may be the first two actresses in history to become more popular after their film bombed.
I am so happy to be here. My name is Sydney Sweeney. You might have seen me in Anyone But You or Euphoria. You definitely did not see me in Madam Web.
And it had everything to do with their attitude towards the flop, which was to blame the executives, Sony, and not the fans. In truth, this was the best unintentional comedy.
Which that's the best way to do it, by the way. You don't attack your audience. You don't attack your audience. You don't attack your audience. You guys are pieces of shit. You don't attack your audience. You do not attack your audience. All right? That's that's the number one thing you don't do. Look what happened to G4. That stupid ass person attacked their audience, and wow, look, G4 is gone. Holy shit.
Of the year, and quite frankly, I had a good time watching it, but even at the time, many of us believed this would be the worst movie of 2024.
Oh, my sweet summer child.
Oh my god, the characters are so cute. Look, I got the star eyes too. And look at the little bear on the back. Oh god, this game's, it's dangerous, guys.
Number 4.
Okay.
The American Society of Magical Negroes.
I forgot about this film, dude. Oh my god. Okay, look. All I gotta say, how can you make a title where like you can't ask a movie ticket for the title because of the title, right? Like, you go, I want one ticket for the American Society of the Magical N-Words. Like that's like, it's a real movie. I actually watched it because I was seeing like if it's a really bad thing, it was really bad. Like, it was, but like the marketing, it's like, how the fuck do you expect the people to watch the film? Which is like, you want everybody to watch the film, right? You can't even say the title name. Like, yeah, it was in theaters for like a week or two. It was so bad they pulled it out to save some money. What's the worst movie of 2025 gonna be? I don't know. I have to look the list. Honestly, it'd be kind of cool. Actually, like I'll see. Maybe we'll do that on stream. Like we're gonna look at all the movies that come out 2025, and we could like break it down and stuff. But yeah, like how the fuck did they thought this was a good idea?
Nope.
Considering the aforementioned problems with Hollywood in 2023, the question has to be asked, did they get the message about the message?
By a considerable margin.
After such a disastrous year, would the industry collectively do some deep introspection, maybe lay low for a little while, possibly dial down the whole pissing off half the country thing? Or through their collective massive egos, hubris, and a clinical lack of self-awareness, would they release a potentially deeply divisive film that's guaranteed to piss off the 5s and 10s of people who bother to watch it? Now we know the trope trope of the
magical Negro
has been around for a long time, and if they had adapted the Key and Peele sketch, this would have been fine. Instead, we got one of the worst films of the year, a boring rom-com wrapped in some bigotry. Yes, this film sets out to fight racism by being racist.
The American Society of Magical Negroes
is so proud of some of the more egregious scenes, they put it in the trailer, which was ratioed into oblivion and, quite frankly, the only thing anyone's going to remember about this movie.
The Society of Magical Negroes
Centers around our non-threatening male protagonist, Aaron, spelled A-R-E-N, who was a...
I'm placing a $100 bet on Snow White. Take me up on it. I bet Snow White is gonna make money. It may be a very bad film, but I bet because Disney still has a powerful brand that Snow White is still gonna make money. Now, is it gonna make a lot of money? No, but it's still gonna make money.
A failed modern artist, and after he spent his last $3,000 on yarn, he is down and out, and to make things worse, he tried to help a drunk white girl, and for some reason these two guys think this guy is mugging her. He's saved by David Allen Greer and recruited into
the American Society of Magical Negroes.
As per the film's synopsis, a young, diverse, non-threatening male protagonist gets recruited into a secret society of magical black people who dedicate their lives to making white people's lives easier. Although initially enamored with his new powers, he begins to question the value of using supernatural means to do the very thing he's felt obligated to do his whole life. And why does our young, diverse, non-threatening male protagonist and
the American Society of Magical Negroes
feel the need to make life more comfortable for
people?
I think it's best.
Did not expect that, bro, because he was editing all black people to say the name and not the white guy said it. Oh my god. I mean, bro, client service first, authenticity, authentically black, acceptance to whites.
To let the film explain itself.
What's the most dangerous animal on the planet?
Sharks.
White people.
I was gonna say a lion, but all right.
Ah, here we go again.
When are white people most dangerous?
They're teamed up with sharks.
When they feel uncomfortable. White people move into a neighborhood, they feel uncomfortable. Gentrification.
Okay.
White cop sees a black man, feels uncomfortable. Another shooting.
So, like, who wants to watch this film? Like, genuinely, like, think about this. When you attack your audience, why the fuck is the audience want to watch your film? Like, this is like basic storytelling or whatever. Why the fuck you're attacking your audience? Yo, let's make a film of attacking white people. Even though like isn't white people like the majority of the market of like, you know, in general, right? And then it's like Mexicans and it's blacks and then it's like Asian and all that. So it's like when you think about that, like the marketing, isn't it best to just be in general, not like a specific type of like attack in your movie? Like, what is this? Oh yeah, actually, yeah, China. Yeah, you're right, China. They don't care about that stuff though, and I don't think so. Do they? Actually, they do. Actually, they do. Never mind. Yeah, we don't talk about China here, right?
The time when all you had to do is look at a white man and make him uncomfortable. That was pretty much it for you. The last thing we see in this world is an uncomfortable white man. We are the vanguard of white relaxation. Black knight.
Wait. So what if I feel like I'm uncomfortable Mexican?
Making sure that they don't take it out on a brother. Because the happier they are,
trash.
the safer we are.
If you were looking for a punchline there, you weren't alone, and it never comes. And let's not forget that white discomfort is measured by a white tears meter. That's right, according to this film, the safety of all black people, only in America by the way, is based on white comfort. And why does David Allen Greer recruit the young, diverse, non-threatening male protagonist?
I know you can feel their discomfort, Aaron. Watching you walk through a room full of white people was the most painful thing I've ever seen.
I mean, aside from being a young, diverse, non-threatening male protagonist, he's over-accommodating to white people because he's constantly in fear for his life, and that makes him a perfect recruit for
the American Society of Magical Negroes.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. right.
Which, as the film states multiple times within the first 20 minutes, is a collective of magical black people who are assigned to specific white people, and as far as the origins are concerned of
the American Society of Magical Negroes.
It comes from a group of slaves who developed this collective magic to make.
I mean, like, they made it into a movie in the title, so I guess people are allowed to say it, right? Like, I don't know. Like, bro, I would love to sit down with the marketing team and actually have a conversation with them. Like, is it up to them, or is it someone stepping in from like executives or like the top of like the people that own these properties and be like, bro, what do you guys think this was a good idea? Like, what do you guys think this was an actual good idea for marketing?
Make white people feel more calm. Now, I think a better use for it would have been to escape. Anyway, David Alan Grier assigns our young, diverse, non-threatening male protagonist to a mediocre white male who somehow is a threat to all black people in America. So after the first third of this film is essentially racism's greatest hits, it devolves into a Gen Z love triangle rom-com, which made me miss the racism.
They're like a couple, you know, in the movies.
That's really sweet.
What is this? What the f?
And the worst part of the film was the message, and I guess I should be specific. Not the message, the film's message. It turns out that
the American Society of Magical Negroes
is a self-absorbed journey about a young, diverse, non-threatening male protagonist who believes he has spent his life trying to make white people feel comfortable, who got a job where he has to make white people feel comfortable, and then deciding he doesn't want to make white people feel comfortable. And the film ends with the Gen Z identity politics equivalent to the feminist speech in Barbie, except it makes the feminist speech in Barbie sound reasonable.
I've been on this planet for 27 years, and I just figured out this week that I deserve to be alive.
You going all crazy out on me. The American Society of Magical Negroes.
A film by first-time director Colby LeBee is a self-insert working through his personal hang-ups.
The animatronic robot from Chuck E. Cheese. What does he look like? You sure I'm not an animatronic? I think you look like the rat from Chuck E. Cheese. Chuck E. Cheese. Wow. Chuck E. Cheese, can you sing a song with me?
Okay.
And for the people out there who don't think this film is racist, let's play a little game. Let's replace white people with Asian people, Latino people, multiple choice demographic. What conceptually could probably be a good film if it was made in 2008 when we could still have comedy turned into something angry, hateful, reductive, sad, and dumb.
Oh my God.
The American Society of Magical Negroes
was so bad, critics and what few members of the audience who actually watched it hated it. And despite its $15 million budget, it was still a well-deserved.
Bro, it barely made $50,000 in the international box office, which is like, bro. I didn't know they did that bad. I did not know. Bro, it barely made $15,000 on the international box office. You know how much money is in that? In the international, it's bigger than the United States, obviously. And they barely made 15. Oh, I guess they did not like that society at all.
Deserved flop.
I hired an AI personal assistant to do literally everything for me. I was lazy today. So in the morning, I had highlighted.
Oh my
Number
God.
3, The Acolyte.
Oh no. Oh no, not The Acolyte. So far I have not disagreed with anything you're saying, by the way. For obvious reasons. Oh no.
That's no moon. It's a space station. It's too big to be a space station.
Is the top 5 woke Hollywood disasters of 2024. Oh my God, this woman is so bad.
Leslie Headland.
Oh my God, she is so bad. She deserves to be fired. She deserves to be fired. She deserves to not be part of the Star Wars universe at all, but she was. Oh my God. Boo.
Who? I am the type of Star Wars fan that doesn't even have a favorite movie. So when people are like, what's your favorite Star Wars movie? I'm like, there is no Star Wars movie. There is only Star Wars. Please, please, Queen. Queen Kathleen Kennedy.
After begging Kathleen Kennedy for a job on the red carpet because she loves all the Star Wars, former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, Leslie Headland got her wish and wasted no time taking George Lucas's lore to Harvey.
She used to be an assistant to Harvey Weinstein. How the fuck she has a job in Hollywood? She knew what Harvey Weinstein was fucking doing. She was the assistant, by the way. Assistant. Bro, what the
Harvey's office.
I'll everybody here. I'll just do it.
We were told that The Acolyte would be a murder mystery told from the Sith's perspective. What D+ ended up with was dinner theater fanfic told from a childless wine ant's perspective.
Yes, yes.
We were told by former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, Leslie Headland, that The Acolyte would be a cross between Frozen and Kill Bill, when in truth is closer to being a cross between the 1992 space movie and The Parent Trap. If you want to know what the 1992 space movie is, you're going to have to Google it.
Oh my
It's hard
God.
to say what's worse, the coven of communist lesbian space witches singing
The power of
What the f?
the coven of communist lesbian space witches conceiving twin girls without a man.
What the f is this?
They eventually grow up to be identical twins played by Amandla Stenberg, exactly the same way, who throughout the series changed sides faster than the Young Turks after an election.
Oh no! And I think I don't know you guys. I don't know if he's gonna talk about it in a video, but I think he is. Remember that she made a music video attacking her audience. What did we say, guys? Don't never attack your audience.
There's also the little things in this show, like turning the Force into the thread.
All living things are connected by the same thread. Some call it a force and claim to use it. But we know the thread is not a power you wield.
A few moments later.
That's it. I'm calling Child Protective Services.
My whole team is dead.
Oh no! It's like Squid Game. So wait.
A bunch of pussies.
Or maybe it was the cowardly and incompetent Jedi. Or it was Jedi that looked like the Bee Gees. Or Jediabetes. Or maybe one of the problems with this show is your best actor, that guy from Squid Game, can't speak English.
They want to take our children.
The Jedi do not take children.
Accompany that with the inappropriate Jedi-Padawan relations. But we also have to
Wait,
consider
what?
the possibility that this is one of two shows on our list that are adapted from purely male brands and written specifically for the bane of fandom. Shippers. Because there's a lot of people at Lucasfilm who made a lot of money who thought it was a good decision to have a thirst-trapped Sith villain, Smilo Ren.
As he begins to untie a belted knot from around his waist,
Actual
she straightens
Disney
up for a better
audio?
look. He begins to undress, revealing a prominent scar on his well-toned back. Dropping his billowy-legged hakama pants, he steps forward with the sunlight accentuating his taut muscles. He wades barefoot into the pool, keeping her predatory gaze on him.
Why is everything so sexual with this?
That's the actual audio from this. Well, damn, that makes me want to fuck him too.
Person, man. Everything is just so sexual.
There's a lot of very well-paid people at Disney and Lucasfilm that thought this show was a good idea. Well, for starters, it turns out it wasn't a good idea to give former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, Leslie Headland, $230 million to make a Disney Star Wars show.
You just have to have the confidence to walk in there and pretend like you know how to do it. I'm telling you guys like the truth. Like that's how I made my first film, was that I was like, I know what's going on. I didn't at all. And I think it shows in the movie.
It also turns out not to be the best of plans to attack the fans prior to the show's release.
Lucasfilm's boss, Kathleen Kennedy, says a lot of women in Star Wars struggle with fan attacks because of the fan base being so male dominated. Yes, because the biggest market, which we like it or not, is male. For Star Wars, there are more male fans than there are female fans. Like, so number one thing is you want to get more female fans for the franchise. Cool, get it, I understand. But what did we say, guys? Don't attack your core audience. Oh my God, there's the music video right there. Oh, he did show it.
hyper-conservative, bigotry, vitriol, prejudice,
By the way, she was born rich and she's half white.
hatred.
I'll just say that.
I'm going out on a limb here, but I don't think it was the best of strategies for the show's star, Amandla Stenberg, to record a diss track attacking Star Wars fans. But the worst move of all was actually releasing the show, and then the world could see the one thing they were honest about. The Acolyte was indeed the gayest Star Wars, and the living embodiment of the South Park meme.
Put a chick in it, make her gay.
And coincidentally, it became the most memed television show in recent memory. Every trailer was ratioed into oblivion. It was content gold on X Twitter, and it launched 1,000 content creator careers. And aside from being adored by the corporate legacy critics and the shills, it was panned by absolutely everyone else, including but not limited to having the lowest audience scores on multiple platforms of any Star Wars project in its history, and having the lowest ratings of any Disney Star Wars project on D+. But then the unthinkable happened. I felt a great disturbance in the force, as if 5s and 10s of Acolyte fans suddenly cried out in terror and were suddenly silenced. I fear something terrible has happened. And it did.
It got canceled?
The Acolyte was canceled. It certainly had its fans. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. And as predicted, the Acolyte became the Marvels for Star Wars, the undeniable truth. And it became a cultural moment because that's when the world realized the fans were always right. And Disney, with their willing and able comrades in the corporate legacy media, didn't just lose their integrity.
Bro, I was never a big fan of Star Wars, but I was a fan, right? Like I was excited to watch like at least new stuff that comes out with Star Wars. Now I don't give a shit. I don't care if things are even gonna be good or not at this point. Like Encore, I heard is good or something. I heard that some things are good. I'm at a point where I just do not care. I don't care about Star Wars. I don't care about the franchise or care what just anymore.
No, they found out they never had it.
Let me finish my cup of hot water.
You might be asking yourself right now, what could possibly be worse than The Acolyte? And that will be a good question. Well, it turns out there's another show with a lot in common with it. Questionable showrunners with questionable talent and questionable connections, preemptive attacks on the fans and the press, embarrassing promotional interviews, flying out shills to meet the showrunners who of course followed that up with glowing reviews, massive ratios, abysmal audience scores, and losing most of the audience that you had left by the end of the season. The only difference being, and I can't believe I'm saying this, Disney was smart enough to cancel it. This brings us to the next show on our list, which according to Games Radar is the best of 2025 and number 4 on Empire Magazine's list, and it's a not so solid number 2 on ours, The Rings of Power Season 2.
What you are witnessing is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in a Numenor municipal court. Both parties have agreed to dismiss their court cases and have their dispute settled here, in our forum, the People's Court.
Oh my god. So I watched season 2 of Rings of Power. I tried again. I watched the first episode, boring as fuck. I watched the second episode, I quit. So I don't know if the season got better, guys, at the end. Please let me know. I just couldn't do it. It was just god awful garbage.
Jesus. Under most circumstances, a show that cost $58 million an episode that lost 63% of its audience throughout its first season will be canceled. But when your show's the giant vanity project of a megalomaniac billionaire who's the closest thing to Dr. Evil we have in this world, that has enough spare change around to spend $42 million on a massive clock that ticks just once a year in the Sierra Diablo Mountains of Texas, that's totally not a cover for a secret base, and flies around in rockets that look like a...
Wang! Pay attention.
I was distracted by that enormous flying...
Johnson. Yes, sir.
So of course the show was safe, but did Amazon learn from their mistakes and listen to the fans that they called patently evil.
But a lot of it, I have to say, at the end of the day, we just got to tune it out. There's nothing anyone can say about the show that one of us hasn't already said, oh, this didn't turn out. Oh, that was supposed to be better. Oh, that didn't work.
But you did it anyway.
To be fair, after some quiet reflection, Amazon did identify the one single problem they had with season 1, all the male directors.
I'm so happy the season has been directed by women. It gives a different perspective. I would say the feminine gaze. That's what I meant to ask you. How different is the feminine gaze?
The fact that 3 women get trusted with this huge budget, I always say, why not? Why wouldn't we be able to?
Absolutely.
Right? We might have a female president soon, so.
Kamala 2025, guys. Kamala 2025.
Ultimately, Amazon didn't listen to the fans and repeated all the same mistakes. And there's a new mantra in Hollywood. I mean, besides male and pale is stale and survive until 25, and it's things can always get worse. When they weren't blatantly ripping off, paying homage to Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and even Harry Potter.
What was that? There are nameless things in the deep places of this world.
There are older and fouler things than orcs in the deep places of the world.
He's never mentioned you.
A wizard does not find his staff. It finds him.
The wand chooses the wizard, Mr. Potter.
Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. They're the same picture.
Amazon, out of one side of their mouth, promised that season 2 would be more canonical and honor Tolkien's lore, when in truth, they were buggering it some more. I must have missed the part in the appendices where Gandalf showed up in the Eastern lands 1,000 years too early, wandering around with female Sam and female Frodo, just so we could spend 2 seasons revealing his name in the lamest way possible.
When in doubt, always follow your nose.
Bitch, please.
Attention all internet users. Stop seeing ads for free when you can get paid to see them. Do you know how much of the content you see on a daily basis are actually ads? That's an ad.
It's afraid he lose control again. Without a grand.
Hey, know what I mean? Know what I mean? Nudge, nudge, know what I mean? Say no more.
What is it?
From the stuff I saw in my dream.
He's a giant.
Like an elf?
Bigger than that.
Oh, so he's a great big grand elf.
Oh my
say no
God.
more, say no more, know what I mean? Nudge, nudge.
The secret fire whispers to us if we have ears to hear.
Thank you kindly, grand elf.
Very good, very good.
Yeah, that's how they got his name.
Gandalf.
Great, it's about f***ing time.
And it's astounding that everyone on Earth who actually read Lord of the Rings completely missed the point with orcs. Instead of being the embodiment of evil, apparently the professor...
Oh yeah, now the orc, this is the Rings of Power season 2. Yeah, so this is what made me turn off the season. So the orcs have families now and are like supposed to be sensitive or some shit like what the fuck, they're evil.
Intended for the orcs to be an oppressed class of victims who just want a safe place to raise their kids, be evil, and practice their corrupted form of life in peace.
We are safe here. We have a home. Must we go to war again? There are some dangers in this world about which it is a father's burden to know, and a son's burden to trust him. Trust me, my son, when I tell you that we will never truly be safe. As you will it, Lord Father.
Yep, that is yeah.
Now, I'm no Tolkien scholar, but I can't say I recall Elrond making out with his future mother-in-law, Galadriel.
Yeah, I love you. Just the way you are.
Yep, that happened too.
Ugh.
Ew, what is that?
Brother, ugh. What's that?
But the worst crime against Tolkien is yet to come. The bane of all good storytelling, pop culture, entertainment, and fandom. shipping. No! They shipped vaguely diverse female, whose name I can't be bothered to remember, with Isildur. They shipped Buckwheat and female Sam, Elendil and Muriel, Elrond and Galadriel. And while it's technically not shipping, Tom Bombadil was definitely grooming Dangalf.
Clean your hands, wash your face, and come join me by the fire.
Might you teach me how to wield a staff? It's yours to wield already.
This sounds very gay.
So many of us in the LGBT community see ourselves in Tolkien's writings. Any chance we'll see ourselves on the show?
Maybe you have already.
And of course, they couldn't resist shipping Sauron with.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I believe there is nothing gay about Lord of the Rings. Am I right? Like the lore, Tolkien. Like if there was, I don't think nobody had any problem with it. But in the Tolkien stories, that nothing was gay. Unless I'm wrong about that, let me know. They literally showed how orcs are born in one of the movies. Yeah, I know they did. But they literally ruined his legacy. It ruined that. This is why this is shit. This is pure shit. Like I'm just like, what? That doesn't make sense.
Celebrimbor, don't believe me?
What were the ones we came up with yesterday? Sal Brimbor?
We're hearing about the Celebrauron.
That's the one.
They literally don't have.
But
They don't have evil.
Violent,
They're just evil.
subversive thing you can do
They're
to the
pure
professor's
evil.
work is take the embodiment of femininity, Galadriel, who Amazon managed to turn into Guy Ladriel, the insufferable girl boss, who, when she's not treating with orcs, she's slaying them, and shipping her with the embodiment of evil, Sauron. And this is nothing short of character assassination, right up there with Indiana Jones and the Dial of Dysentery, Han Solo in The Force Awakens, Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi, and the Doctor in Doctor Who. Turning Sauron, the dark sorcerer and shapeshifter, master of shadows and lord of werewolves, into a hopeless simp for Guy Ladriel, whose shapeshifting ability was putting on a wig and fooling everyone in Middle Earth, making it Simple Earth. But at least we got to see Sauron cry. Twice. And after yet another disastrous season, it's clear that this is the worst adaptation ever made, conceived and put together by a company that hates the source material, the author, and the fans. And shame on the Tolkien Society, the Tolkien Professor,
It's just the same thing as The Witcher, right? They had someone who knew about the lore about The Witcher and everything, but like the director and people that run that show, they don't want to follow the actual lore of The Witcher. Guess what happens when the companies actually listen to the lore and actually listen to the fans? Shit, I don't know. We get like Sonic 3 success. We like the franchise is very successful. They're going on the fourth film. I don't know. We get Arcane. Holy shit. It did a very good job. Holy shit. Did a Fallout show come out and it wasn't shit on? I wonder why. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
the Tolkien scholars and the Tolkien estate
and
for supporting the scouring of
lead,
John Ronald Reuel Tolkien's work. And the current cope coming from none other than the Tolkien professor, Dr. Corey Olson.
There's no such thing really as canon in Tolkien.
Oh, off.
We'll let the real professor respond to this.
The canons of narrative in any medium cannot be wholly different. And the failure of poor films is often precisely an exaggeration and in the intrusion of unwarranted matter owing to not perceiving where the core of the original lies.
Goddamn Tolkien, that's just how you end this shit, man.
Assembly is so easy. Part of the frame is already bolted to the top, so you just have to...
Dishonorable mentions.
Before we get to number one, here are some worthy dishonorable mentions. For the fifth time, somebody thought it was a good idea to try to make The Crow again, except this time it's with a slightly less gay Machine Gun Kelly as John Wick. And to everyone's utter unsurprise, the film flopped. Repeat after me, there is only one Crow film and it stars the late, great Brandon Lee. Argyle, it's become pretty clear that Henry Cavill has become the prime bait in the bait and switch. After The Witcher and Enola Holmes, this might be the worst case. What moviegoers thought they were going to was a Henry Cavill spy thriller helmed by the director of Layer Cake and Kingsman, Matthew Vaughn. What they ended up with is fanfic featuring a plus-size middle-aged woman fighting the bad guys ice skating on oil. And the only good thing possibly that can come from this massive flop is Henry Cavill finally decides to fire his agent. Our next one is a show you might not have heard much about, Echo, a Disney.
Yeah, so I thought he was gonna be in the film. He wasn't. Yeah, it was a bait and switch. They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. Oh, Echo. I was kind of excited because it was gonna have Daredevil in it, and it had Kingpin in it. But yeah, Echo was a very boring show. Extremely boring.
Disney Plus series featuring a Native American deaf amputee superhero. And while it passed every DEI and ESG score with flying rainbow colors, unfortunately the show wasn't good. Despite having some reservations, Marvel went ahead with their big gamble and released Echo all at once, possibly in hopes to give those ratings a leg up, or in hopes that people will forget about it sooner. Proving that Disney Marvel might not be completely off the reservation, that strategy worked, and since Echo's release, the silence has been deafening. Borderlands. Really, what gamer doesn't want to see two of their favorite characters portrayed by elderly women? Agatha all along. After the massive hit that was Deadpool and Wolverine, Disney Marvel decided to take a page out of Disney's Star Wars book and snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory. Apparently, it wasn't enough for Disney to have one show about a coven of musical lesbian witches that's the gayest Star Wars ever. They required another subsidiary.
So Agatha had an interesting premise, I will say, because it has to do with like the hell and monsters and stuff. So they could have done with that one, especially like they did a hint of a Mephisto, which is the devil in Marvel Universe. They introduced Wanda's kids again, I guess you could say. They introduced Death, which is like the wife, or I guess they want to. Thanos wants Death to be his wife in the comic books, not in the movie universe. But yeah, they introduced Death. But yeah, it was a very bad show overall. It was a bad show overall. The Witcher was plagiarized by the Elric story. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Borderlands was easily forgettable. I forgot all about Borderlands, honestly. Borderlands was so bad it was on YouTube for free. Is it really? No, it wasn't.
To make a show about musical lesbian witches that's the gayest Marvel ever. Coming off as a bad attempt to make Marvel Glee and Wicked, with the following success of Wicked, one thing became clear. Nobody wants Marvel to be Glee or Wicked.
What's number one? What's the number? Oh, Joker 2. I forgot all about that film too. No, Joker. What do we say, guys? Don't ever attack your audience. And guess what the director did? He attacked the audience of the Joker. He literally shit on this film in the franchise of Joker. It could have been. It ruined Joker. Joker 2 does not exist. I despise Joker so much, I couldn't finish the movie. I ended up watching just clips of it until the ending, and that's it. It is so bad. It's horrendously bad. I don't know why the fuck they decided to do a musical 2 as well. Yeah, this is the definition of do not shit on your audience. It was, I saw on YouTube for free before it was played on theater. Oh my god.
N'importe qui, ce fut toi, je t'ai dit n'importe quoi. Il suffisait de te parler pour t'apprivoiser. Oh, Champs-Élysées, oh, Champs-Élysées. Au soleil, sous la pluie, à midi ou à minuit, il y a tout ce que vous voulez aux Champs-Élysées.
You don't know about Snap 4. This beautifully designed, incredibly thin, magically magnetic, spinny grip. This little bad boy slays all of these other one-trick.
Number 1, Joker, Folie à Deux.
What? Yes, they made the Joker 2 into a fucking musical. And guess what? He's not actual Joker at all. I'll tell you at the ending, because I don't give a shit. He dies at the end of the film by the real quote-unquote Joker. So this whole time we're seeing Joker, it was not actually Joker. Yeah. That's what happens. That is literally the ending of the Joker 2.
You've seen it. Did everything you expected?
It's like fanfic.
Tell them how you feel, Joaquin.
Prior to its release in 2019, the Academy Award-winning billion-dollar box office smash Joker was generally perceived as another soulless corporate cash grab peripheral Batman project that no one asked for, featuring the origin story of a villain who's never had one or needed one. And despite the corporate legacy media trying to push the narrative that this film would lead to incel violence, instead of putting a shadow over the Joker, it helped propel it into the stratosphere.
Laughing all the way to the box office, Joker raked in a record-breaking $93.5 million domestically, $234 million worldwide, and it's
so all that profit it made, by the way, literally got turned into half profit of this first film because the second film lost so much money.
opening weekend. This means Joker is the biggest October film launch of all time.
Sure, it was essentially a Taxi Driver and the King of Comedy mashup with the Joker label that just so happened to work in every single way. That rare moment where Hollywood captured lightning in a bottle. A compelling, grim, and intense character study featuring an unreliable narrator, Arthur Fleck, played brilliantly by Joaquin Phoenix, slowly descending into madness, leading to an ending that's both satisfying and open. A film that was meant to be debated until the end of time. Or until Warner Brothers, America's dumbest company, decides to back up a couple of Brinks trucks full of money to an actor and a director who didn't want to do the sequel in the first place.
Are we going to see you do another one with Batman and Joker?
Definitely not, no.
Why not? Why wouldn't you want to take it to the next level?
Because we like this as a standalone thing, as its own thing, yeah.
Add to that, casting a pop star, Lady Gaga, and announcing the sequel's gonna be a musical, leading many moviegoers to revisit their doubts prior to the first Joker. And then, unfortunately, the film was released and 5s and 10s of people saw the truth. That it was a film that, while being put together by very talented people, played out like an actor and a director not wanting to do the sequel in the first place. And if it ended there, you could just chalk it up as another soulless corporate cash grab peripheral Batman project that no one asked for. But no, what puts Joker 2 in its well-earned #1 slot on our list is far worse. Instead of being just another ill-advised sequel featuring member berries, repurposed dialogue, and callbacks to better times, in Joker 2, Todd Phillips made the very bold decision to systematically dismantle everything good about the first film, with a heavy dose of the good old subversion of expectations. Instead of seeing an expansion on Arthur Fleck's Joker, watching him come into his own and going on murderous romps with Harley Quinn, instead we get to witness our auteur filmmaker make the avant-garde decision of having Arthur Fleck withdraw and regress into the character he was at the beginning of the first film, and then regress some more. It's a deconstruction of a deconstruction. This is high art. And as far as the unreliable narrator is concerned, in the first Joker, there was a lot of scenes where we're not sure if it's happening in Arthur's head or not, until the Joker 2 during a court scene where we're shown that the events of the first movie went down exactly how we saw them. While the corporate legacy media was trying to push the narrative that the first Joker will lead to incel violence, I think we can all agree that the second Joker will lead to narcolepsy. Lady Gaga didn't add much to the film, playing Harley Quinn as essentially a manipulative clout chaser, and the monotony is occasionally broken up by the musical bits that don't feel like they fit at all. Half of them are mumbled, and the rest are Lady Gaga singing oldies.
For once in my life, I have someone who needs me.
No, shut up!
She's a fool, and don't I know it?
Shut the f up!
Forget your troubles, come on, get happy.
Will you shut up?
Sing hallelujah, come on, get happy. Ready for the judge.
Shut up! Shut up!
Check out these deals of the week at Walgreens.
Oh my god, it was so bad, bro.
That wasn't good!
But the final insult comes when Arthur Fleck is killed by the Joker and dies sad and alone. And we find out that the joke was on us because we weren't watching a Joker movie. The corporate Hollywood equivalent to clickbait. 5s and 10s of people will cry that Joker 2 is misunderstood and will be considered a masterpiece in 20 years. If we go along with that line of thinking, we have to believe some of the excuses provided as to why Joker 2 flopped. Theaters played too many commercials prior to the film, it was the toxic fans' fault, or my personal favorite, the audience is too stupid. Or the media literacy crowd might want to consider this one possibility that the audience was smart enough to pick up what Todd Phillips was putting down.
I was in Joker 2, which just came out. It's the worst film that has ever been made. So bad. It's actually not so bad. It's the worst film ever made. This was one of the top disasters that has ever been. Like, I'm part of something that's kind of cool. It's really cool, actually. It's one of the greatest failures of anyone in entertainment at any time.
And after a decade of Hollywood demonizing half the country, when a film comes out and quite literally tells them to f off, they did. So you can go with the media literate, cinephile, speculative fiction, or you can go with reality. For starters, Todd Phillips has managed to make a sequel of one of 2 hits DC has had in the last 5 years and turned it into their 6th bomb in a row. While the first Joker grossed over $1 billion globally without China, Joker 2, which was released in China, grossed just over $200 million worldwide. Just a slight difference of $857 million. While the first Joker's budget was $55 million, the second was $200 million, which coincidentally is exactly how much money Joker 2 lost.
Yep. So bad, man.
While the first Joker, which was cinematic serendipity that divided the critics and fans, the second Joker was a cinematic catastrophe that united the critics and fans.
Perfection.
And the topper is, while the Joker 2 is an awful movie, its added bonus is it completely ruins its predecessor. I'll never watch the first again. Joker 2 is the personification of everything wrong with modern Hollywood. No, we don't need a sequel, a prequel, an interquel, a midquel to everything. The only thing modern repurposing accomplishes is reminding us that Hollywood used to be better. Joker 2 made Joker the story we were concerned about in the first place. A meaningless and pointless corporate cash grab.
Look, as soon as I heard they're gonna make this Joker 2, I was not excited at all. Especially when they said it's gonna be a musical. I was like, I'm not even gonna watch this shit. I'm not even excited at all.
Peripheral Batman story.
I'm more excited for the Godzilla vs. King Kong film sequel. You know what I mean? I'm excited for Sonic 3, which was a goddamn phenomenal film. Way better than this garbage or all these properties in this goddamn
Set in the world of Batman without Batman. That was in truth a Joker movie without the Joker. That's our list, folks. The top 5 woke Hollywood disasters of 2024. A year that's been tough on Tinseltown because an entire industry and its celebrities learned that they lost what little influence they thought they had. The year of the woke Hollywood reckoning. Time will tell if they got the message. As always, if you don't agree with our list, please leave a comment.
Well, we'll see in 2025, guys. You guys, the end of wokenism is dead in 2025. Let me know. Cutting it down to 5 is just a feat itself. True. Changing faster than the young Turks after an election. Disney and Sony both don't deserve their own Marvel characters. Yeah, they just took advantage of Marvel when Marvel was down bad, man. This video contains 37 minutes of all the movies you never want to see. Star Wars died in 2014, and now 2014 is 10 years of garbage. Pretty much. Because I think the prequels of Star Wars got a little bit better, even though like the second one's still really bad, don't get me wrong. And the first one has the potential because of the villain. But the third one, I think the third film of the Star Wars films, of the prequel, aged a lot way better. People see that film a lot better than they did in the first time. Imagine, let's see, this is the best produced product you ever have released. Whoever cut this deserves raise. Oh yeah, this production of video was amazing, dude. I cannot wait to watch more of these videos. But yeah, I didn't disagree with any of his videos or his picks, honestly. So all right.